All right, women and men, we're going to talk about prostitution and prostitutes. There are male and there are female prostitutes that are caught up in a certain lifestyle. Um, I cannot tell you that one time I'm hanging out with my dad and my brother. He walks up to me and he's boastful. He's like, "Man, your dad had a girl and they all was in the bedroom, and one night I had gave him this girl," or whatever the case may be, like as if he was a pimp or something. And it upsetted me because I know how it is. I know that women don't choose the lifestyle of hoism, or most of them don't choose freely to relinquish themselves to multiple men, but it's rather something that's forced and psychologically embedded in them through abuse and multiple different devices and techniques that people was taught to use to manipulate women into pretty much prostituting themselves or to relinquish their rights. Some of these same actions have happened to men, where men end up in a relationship with a woman. This woman gets them hooked on drugs. Once they're hooked on drugs, this woman begins to make them prostitute themselves out. This happens to men. This same thing happens to women. And these men begin to be manipulated and stuff like that, because once you're on drugs, certain drugs, all of them are not the same, but certain drugs that have you sleeping with men and you're a man, certain drugs that have you sleeping with women and you are a woman, to get that high or to get that fix that you really need. And you find yourself into hoism or the lifestyle of sleeping with partners that you're not in agreement with. Um, there are several different devices that people use to pretty much prostitute you right out of your home. I remember watching a documentary where they was talking about these women consistently come back to the same location, and they constantly come back to these same locations to be prostituted out or to be taken advantage of or to be sexually active with multiple people. And the truth is that they don't just keep coming back to those same locations, but rather their vision is compromised, hearing several different things body wise that is compromised, that's causing them to return to that location. Because if you think that a certain location that you're at is your home, you're going to return back to your home every day. So when you know that a certain location is your home, you're going to return to your home. You're not going to be all over the place running around. And maybe in that place that you consider home isn't really home for you. It is the place where you're being victimized. It is the place where people are taking advantage of you and you're being manipulated. And others like, well, how could they not know? And stuff like that. There are several different ways. When you look into technology for the blind, you will see that technology has taken on a whole new era. And remind you, for every advance that we make, we have to realize that some of the advances are a way for others to imprison us and to take advantage of us. So you're making advances. You're making that step to advance yourself, promote yourself, or whatever the case may be, and you're introducing new technology, you're introducing all of this different stuff, and your original thought is like, okay, this technology helps the blind to see. The other person say, hey, I can use that technology to make sure the ones that can see can't see what I'm doing. And now they're utilizing technology that's used for the greater good of society to use it on the opposite end. And these type of things happen. So these people are returning to the same location, and you're like, this person is returning to the same location. They go to that same place every day. How could they not know? How could this be going on? It can happen. It can happen to anybody. It can happen to a civilian. It can happen to an innocent person. It can happen to a person in the military, army, a person, a legal official, or an official position in the judges. It can happen to law enforcement. It can happen to anybody, a teacher, a child. When I say this can happen to children, babies, you know, I never knew that when I started researching into this or started having problems with issues in reference to this, that these people had no age limit. That means a little bitty baby they would raise up to be in hoism, or to feel that it's okay for people to touch them in their private area. And you're looking at it, that's a baby. And that baby has been touched in their private area since they were babies. And this is a group of people that send belief into this type of system and into that type of society. You're not, but they're trying to force you to be a part of it through technical devices, through other things. So you actually have to voice it, or have to get out there and say, hey, something's wrong here. This is not supposed to go like this. And they feel like they're almighty and powerful. They feel like, hey, we over you. You ain't over us. You can't tell us what to do. You can't do this. You can't do that. And truth be told, this is stuff that is actually happening in society every day, because we don't see it. We have, this is what they call blinders on, or whatever the case may be. So we're oblivious to certain things taking place. You could be oblivious to being raped in your own home. You could be oblivious to several different things taking place right there in your home, and you're notifying law enforcement. You're notifying all these different people, and you're wondering why no results is happening. These people done hacked your phone, so all your calls go to them. It no longer goes to the places or the destination that they're supposed to go. You're wondering why you haven't had a job in months or years. And sometimes when I say years, I mean long periods of time. And you're wondering, well, why don't I have a job, or whatever the case may be. The reason why you don't have a job is because of certain manipulation tactics, certain psychological tactics, several different tactics that are being used to victimize you and make you vulnerable. And these people are educated on it. They went to school for it. They don't want you to go to school, but they went to school to learn how to manipulate you, how to push your buttons, how to call your cards, how to pretty much force you into a vulnerability state. And this is what they went to school for. And this is what they wanted to learn. And this is what they did. Learn technology. Learn every field that's possible. Learn medication. So they know which medications to give you if they want you to sit up there and be passed out for days and months and weeks. And we'll have you somewhere knocked out, passed out for months and weeks. And you won't even know what to do while they're taking advantage of you. And they consider this not to be an issue because it's not them. So no, it's not an issue because it's not me. I'm not going through it. I don't know why this person's doing this or why they're going through that, but I'm not going through it, and this is their personality, and this is how they speak, and this is how they do it. But I know for a fact that this type of stuff is happening, and they will victimize you. I have been there. I'm going through. I have been through it. I only speak on these subjects to try to help our people and stuff like that. One of the things I always tell a person, when you find yourself in a state where you know your vision is compromised and several things are compromised with you, stick close to the 10 commandments, close to the commandments of God, stick close to the biblical to prevent shame. But shame comes anyway with certain things that happen. you're you're probably going to be raped in that state. You're probably going to be raped regardless, but shame is going to come anyway. So, and they will lie to cover it up. They will say this didn't happen to you, it never happened to you. You will be in the court of law and they'll say it never happened. I will show you videos later on about this. Have a good day.